Testing 1 2, testing. What's going on, traders? Johnny back with another live day trading session. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your day. Today is February 19th, 2026. It is 7:27 my time, and it looks like QQQ is down about 0.48%. They are in the red. Pre-market's at 602 and continuing to sell off. That is due to let's see, I just put it in the trade ideas. Breaking news, U.S. unemployment claims comes in at actually 206. Forecast was 223. Previous was 227. So a little bit less unemployment claims this month. If you want to get these trade ideas quicker than waiting for these live stream, all you have to do is join by clicking the first link in the description. All right, market opens in about a minute and a half. And we are live. So let's see what happens today. If markets begin to push up higher, or if we begin to see more selling pressure. I'm excited to see what happens with you guys today. QQQ, so QQQ is down to 603. Bitcoin is also selling off, again, just following this 45 EMA very nicely. Just, beautifully selling off. This is exactly what we want to see. Down to lows of 65,900, which means MSTR is selling off too, making newer lows. It did drop below that support level from yesterday of around 123.65, now touching 123.18, which means MSTZ is now up to 1497. It's up 2.75% in the pre-market session, so that's amazing to see. And I'd love to see this begin to push up higher. Look, if I would have just held my position from yesterday, we'd be up 3%. 3% over $1.24 per share. That's actually 9%. Oh man, sold way too early. $1.23 per share on 180 shares is just diabolical. Be $241. Jeez Louise. Market is officially open. And I knew I should have bought some more as MSTR begins to sell off. Now remember, MSTZ can go up much higher. It's been up to 31 before, 18. All we need to do is capture $1 worth. And I just wish that I would have actually held my position yesterday. Wow, beautiful move. MSTR selling off to 122. QQQ is slightly holding, which is why I'm interested. QQQ pushing up, at least trying to. Bitcoin isn't really dropping. Yeah, we missed the rally on that one. We missed the move on that one because now this can begin to push up. Could have been a very nice little overreaction here. So as this begins to come back down, I'll buy some more of my actual position. Also, if you guys like the WEBULL platform, you guys are getting more familiar with it. Since you guys are showing up to watch these live streams every morning, you kind of want to get in and get into this brokerage. There is a pinned comment in the comment section that'll earn you 75 free fractional shares. It's free money for signing up. Same way as Robinhood did. When you're able to join Robinhood using someone's link, you would get free shares, and the person with the link would provide you with some free shares. So Yeah, I should have bought. QQQ selling off. So we're going to buy some, I guess. We're going to start light. We're going to do 20 shares down at 50 or up at 15.24. I don't want to be too aggressive. Although Bitcoin is selling off, so that's nice. Add another, add 30 shares. Let's see, QQQ pushing up. Bitcoin beginning to push up as well. I'm looking at QQQ on my secondary screen. See, it looks like QQQ is going to sell off a little bit more. Okay, let's just go 50 shares right away. That way, in case we don't want to miss this rally. So I think 50 shares is plenty. Especially if it goes up $1, that'll be about 50 bucks. So we're gonna give it some time to work. We could potentially make another $100 today. If it sells off a little bit, we'll buy some more. So we want to have some money for that dip. Just like with yesterday, instead of buying all in this area, and I did buy some down here, I didn't have enough to buy more down here. So if there is a huge dip, I want to make sure I take advantage and buy at those dip buy opportunities. MSTR. We'll see if MSTR breaks below 120. If it does, then I wouldn't mind, shorting it more. But if this finds a common support level, begins to push up, then I'd probably want to re-enter my short around 135. So it's not bad to have a little skin in the game. Also, Carvana reported earnings yesterday. Carvana. Carvana did report. Well, this is weird. Why does my screen look like this? Carvana sold off. It's down 7%, but from highs of 364 down to 272. It sold off 25% and has already recovered almost 20% of that move. So Carvana, interesting. Ooh, Bitcoin's selling off a little bit more. Now remember, we do have a light position in MSTZ now. We do have 50 shares, and we're going to keep it light. Even if it runs up, we're not going to be super aggressive on this. Let it run up. We could still potentially make $50 to $100 today on only 50 shares. I want to keep myself with another 150 shares available to buy when this begins to dip. MSTR does not have to sell off anymore. It looks like it's already trying to find some support around 122. If it does hold, you can see it bounce all the way back up like it did yesterday for a big break up, and I want to be able to buy that peak if it in fact does something similar. Even if it runs up to moving average, I'd love to buy that when it pushes up higher. Here we go. Bitcoin still continuing to sell off. Now remember, Bitcoin can sell off all the way down to 60,000. There's nothing saying it can't. Has this nice descending pattern here, just kind of like it played out last week. This descending pattern, we talked about it. This little channel that it puts itself in sometimes. It's hard for itself to get out of it. Same thing it did You know, like I said, the week before, just this beautiful descending pattern. It broke out for a moment here, and it's continuing to have this descending pattern. So it's almost right back to a low of 65,100. We'll see if it pops back up briefly. If it does, then we're just going to short it again, right? So that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin. If we could hit lows of 120, for MSTR, then that actually is how much more of a sell-off here from 123. That's about 2%, which means I can make about 4% if this continues higher. 4% would be right around 1573-ish. So we'll see what happens here. I love how it pushed up so much from 14.97 to 15 in a matter of 1 minute. 40 cents a share, 2.5% profit. QQQ continuing to sell off. Okay, and I may have got in just a little bit too, I didn't get in as aggressive today. I felt like I did pretty well on my trade yesterday. You can go back and watch that live stream from yesterday. Did a really good job, but when the live stream ended, I literally got emotional, and at one point I was down $100 on my MSTZ position, and it went all the way back up to break dollars in profit, and then it sold off a little bit more, and I was down $50, and I was like, uh-oh, I don't want to go back down to 100. Let's just cut our losses right here. And then it rallied all day. Like literally the minute I sold, it rallied the entire day, and instead of being down 50, we would have actually been up closer to like $170. Also, by simply holding overnight, we also would have been up, what was that we saw this morning, like $240 on an overnight position. So hey, sometimes it happens that way. So doing very, very patient here. Let Bitcoin begin to run up. QQQ is not really running up very much, but we're going to let MSTR run up as well. And then we'll just buy some more, right? So we'll see what happens. We'll see if this dip really does happen. Now, it's been as low as $100 before. I don't expect it to go that low this time. But, if it could drop to 120 before a big rally, cool. And if the rally is already going to begin to happen, then I'll consider shorting it again around that 134, 135 level. Bitcoin trying to push up. This is on the 1 hour time frame, so I could go like 5 minute, you know what I mean? Like, so I did a good job managing my risk. I just did not do a good job trading my plan yesterday, right? And we also have a couple of traders who are buying MSTU at these levels, expecting to sell around, I believe he said 490. So looking to sell around 490, which basically means it's going to come back up and test this moving average. So, that could be a nice little profit as well. 8% or about 30 cents a share. There we go, MSTR pushing. Bitcoin's pushing up slightly. I mean, it's nothing on a smaller scale of things, right? On the grand scheme of things, it's not really pushing up all that much. Let it push up a little higher, and then we can actually begin to short it. Again, we just talked about this. MSTR going to come back up and retest moving average. We'll see if it does. That just gives us more room for that downside potential. But yeah, the game would have been holding on to this since yesterday. I had a 1384 average down in here, so that would have still been very nice for today. $1.50, $1.40 per share. Man, that'd have been really nice. Bitcoin pushing, let it. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning. How are you doing today? It's Thursday, guys. It's Thursday. What are you guys doing in the middle of the week? Got one more day, and then it's the weekend. I used to love the weekends. Now I just think they're boring because I can't really trade. I could start trading crypto on the weekends, but it's nice to have a little break too from trading, 5 days a week, having Saturday off. Sunday we have our Sunday stock talk, so that's always nice. Good, just working. I hear you, man. I remember those days. Sometimes I miss working too. I was a general manager of a restaurant, a couple different restaurants, but the one that I really enjoyed was a 24-hour sit-down diner, and we had the whole menu all day. It was cool, man. You could be selling eggs, and then someone wants a burger at 6 a.m. or vice versa. You're selling steaks and burgers, and then someone wants you know eggs and ham and bacon at like 10 o'clock at night. So used to love it, managing the crew, managing the cooks, doing the truck orders, doing inventory. It was pretty cool, man. uh I'm a mechanic. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Got a mechanic. I know there's a landscaper who was literally outside landscaping while watching this. I'm like, that's really cool too. Hey, good morning. Blessed day to you as well. Hope you're having a good Thursday. Man, the wind here was violent. The wind was violent. I thought it was gonna rip our freaking roof off of our house last night. It was so weird. And like we don't have shingles. We don't have like pro panel. It's like this one solid sheet. I was like, man, that's gonna rip it open like a freaking sardine can. It was crazy. QQQ selling off slightly. Bitcoin also beginning to curl over on this 45 EMA. If we do see some more selling pressure, I may add a little bit more down at 1478, but remember, this thing can dip much lower than that. We had 10 shares here at 1480. Yeah, just to buy a few on the dip. Kind of like we did yesterday, right? Buying on the dip, buying those pullbacks. QQQ, aggressively selling off, but it doesn't mean it can't rally the way it did yesterday, right? Sold off for a little bit, rallied all the way to 609, and then gave it back to 603. Same thing with my MSTZ position, guys. Up to 1536 today. It sold off. I even bought the dip, pushed up. I sold right here on this candle at 1010, and the second I sold, it rallied. Lost 50 bucks yesterday for it to go up to 190 before market close. It was like 170, and then $240 if I would have just held it overnight. So pretty disappointed in myself and that trade for yesterday, but there's always another day to be able to make more money. You got to remember that. When we have good days, I prepare for my bad days, and when I have bad days, I prepare for my good days, and that's just what it's all about. Okay, we can still buy 140 shares, so this actually is a light position in my opinion. Let Bitcoin run up. Doesn't seem like it's doing it very well, but MSTR pushing up. And let's see what happens. I don't mind this running up and then we buying more when it hits a peak like yesterday. I even bought this peak on MSTZ yesterday. I just didn't do a good job holding it for the rest of the day. So For everyone just tuning in, guys, this is a more risky trade. Obviously, MSTR is right around support of 120. I would have loved to see it kind of sell off to 120 and then maybe get a bounce, maybe sell below 120 as it's been down to $100 before. But if this does begin to rally, we can expect it to go back up and retest 134, 135, and then that would make more sense as to actually shorting it, right? Make more sense to short it at the top than trying to short it for more of a bottom, right? I just wanted a little skin in the game, very little skin in the game in case it does rally, right? If we saw it push up from, what was that this morning? 14.99 all the way to 15.36. I don't want to miss that move, so I bought 50 shares. And if it did push up right now, we have the potential to make $65 to $120 at peak resistance. And if it begins to sell off, go back down to 13s, then we'll have the confidence to buy more at 13s. We'll have the money and the capital to buy down at $13 if it does come down that low. So I'm just going to buy 10 more shares down at 14.80 in case this does begin to kind of curl over, right? And if it does, then we can get obviously a little bit more aggressive. But, MSTR could very easily push up higher. QQQ trying to find support. Bitcoin pushing up. Okay. So now this is where we're just going to be patient. Got 70 shares at 15.11. It's not the best price point. Obviously, if this goes down to 13.25, we can buy, 130 shares or so and bring this average down. Buying 70 at 13.25 would probably put it around like 14-ish, which 14 wouldn't be bad. You add another 30 shares, might bring it down to 13.80-ish again, kind of where it was yesterday. And if it begins to push up, then obviously now we can make more. Right now we can make anywhere from $70 to $150. So we're just going to be patient. I really want to lead by example and only buy when Bitcoin's at an all-time high, when MSTR is at an all-time high. Then we buy at those levels. Again, got a little skin in the game though. QQQ not really doing consolidating right here. Trying to find its level to reverse, right? When there's a lot of consolidation, you'll usually see a reversal, right? So it started selling off yesterday, kind of did the same thing it's doing now, tested this as a resistance level, pulled back, and then shot right through that resistance level, went all the way up, and then it kind of flatlined, and then once it flatlined and consolidated, then it began selling off and giving it all back. Then it consolidated, pushed up, got rejected off of that moving average again, broke through the moving average, and been kind of choppy ever since. Now we are into, of course, that pre-market session where it crossed over. Trying to get above it, was having a difficult time, and still having a difficult time getting above that moving average. So still acting as a resistance level, okay? And guys, we need to start getting more double-digit viewers on the live stream if we're going to do giveaways. So if you are happening to watch this on the Discord platform, hit that little YouTube button on the video, and it would take you to actually being visible in the YouTube, and I will actually see you guys as far as concurrent viewers. It's okay if you don't want to, I understand, but let's try to work on getting double digits more days than not. That way we can start doing some giveaways. It's too easy to do a giveaway if there's only a few people show up. If we get over 10, 10, 14, 20, 30 members every day showing up, then it makes more sense to do a giveaway. So make sure you're watching on the YouTube platform, not just the Discord platform, okay? That'll really help a lot. Thank you guys. Okay, QQQ, let's see. If it breaks above, that's okay. Let it run up the same way it did yesterday. Let this thing run up, retest 609 if it has to. Let's let this pump up. This is going to get lower. We're just going to add more to it, right? Don't worry too much about this number. This is just a little bit of skin in the game. I guess I don't necessarily need that right there, huh? Yeah, I could just take that out. There you go. Kind of less distracting. And I want to add more at this level, right? I want to add more here as MSTR is at a key level where it can actually get rejected. We're going to buy 10 shares, okay? Just keeping it light, keeping it tight. Buying these pullbacks. 81 shares now. In case this does begin to push back up. Bitcoin. You guys like the drip? I got the drip on today. It's actually the brand name. It's actually the name of the shirt. Okay, looking at QQQ. QQQ pushed up to 604. I'll showcase that to you guys. I'm looking at it on my secondary screen. Kind of staying below this 45 EMA. So that's interesting to see. 603. Let's see if it comes back down. If it finds support. Now remember, when it's above this moving average, it usually will find a support and it'll push higher. When it's below it, it acts as a resistance and it'll sell off lower. Bitcoin. There we go. Look, it's getting up to that level there to where we can see more selling pressure now. We'll see if we do get it. And it could continue to pump up too, right? MSTR pushing up. QQQ still holding. I'm gonna buy 10 more shares at 14.50, but I'm gonna wait. Talked about being patient. I'm gonna wait. Maybe even around 14.20 might be a little better. 13s would be amazing. We're just holding. I don't want to look too much at this. That's exactly how much I was down yesterday, and I ended up selling. What a dummy. There we go. Being patient here. Let's see if our Nimbus guy is here. CC Cordone or whatever his name was. Nimbus. I don't know why it looks like this. This is so weird. Like some of them look like this and some of them don't. Very odd. Weird. But yeah, NBIS pushed up to 105, so still very bullish. If it breaks this, it can go up to 110, and then if it breaks 110, it could technically go up to 120, which is where he wanted it to go. He was like, do you think it'll go up to 120? I mean, it's definitely possible, especially how strong of the momentum it has right now. I do not like the way that looks. That looks weird. I like this blue color better. It's easier on the eyes. MSTR curling over. There we go. Starting to see a little bit of a retracement here. 1440. 1440 would have been a nice little area to average down. Bitcoin curling over. QQQ is above that moving average now, so we can see a little bit more upward momentum potentially. Let's see, where is it at as far as pre-market? Wow, very aggressive red candle. What's some other things going on here? Got Meta. Meta holding on around 642. Microsoft pushed up to 403, now trying to come back down slightly. Tesla sold off today to 404, now back up to 408. The Googles around 303. They are below that moving average, so I'm curious to see if this gets rejected or if it begins to break to new highs. ABGO just hit 336. AMD trying to stay above 200. It's at 202 currently. Apple selling off, trying to recover. Amazon selling off, getting rejected off the moving average. Nvidia also selling off, making lower lows. Oracle pushing up slightly. Disney selling off. Hood back down to 73. Pushed up to 78 yesterday. That's nice. Remember, Hood used to be in the 100s, the 120s, the 140s. Netflix pushed up to 78 today. Literally, Hood and Netflix are right around the same price point. That is insane. Netflix is actually officially higher than Hood now. That's crazy. SoFi down to 19. It was at a $20 price yesterday. American Airlines continuing to sell off. American Airlines has a long way to go back to $9, $10. So it's making its descent. Right, it's now 8 o'clock, so the market has officially been open for 30 minutes. Sound kind of hovering around 750-ish. Plug, not really doing much on Plug, $1.84. All right, a little update on some of my watch list that I'm watching here. QQQ beginning to curl over. Let's see if it tests a major support level here. So we'll see if it holds above, validating support. VIX index is up to 21. It's actually at 2058 right now. Remember, when it's above this red line or 20, it is more likely the market will sell off, and it creates a lot more volatility in the market as well. So I love to see that. That validates our position a little more. Like to see this sell off a little bit more. BTC kind of hovering around this level, which means MSTR kind of holding around 125. So again, being patient. Love to buy the peak, so let this run up as high as it can, and we'll buy more down at the bottom. Still testing this area here. So let's see what happens. MSTR pushing up. Again, holding my position would have been fantastic. We wouldn't have even had to trade today. And just you go back, you say, I coulda, shoulda, woulda, but that doesn't do any good. Now, journaling helps. Definitely journal your trades, whether they're good or bad. That way you can get your thoughts on paper, kind of out of your head, but also you're putting that, mind to muscle memory kind of effect where when you write it down, you actually like remember it and retain it better. And just know we're not going to make those same mistakes again. All right, we're halfway to double digits, guys. Come on. We need 5 more people. It'll make more sense to do a giveaway. I'm thinking we'll do one on a Sunday stock talk. It's like a weekly thing. Maybe we'll do one monthly. And then once you guys are all into our paid Discord, then I'm thinking of hosting one free live stream for everyone in the public, to the public, like once a month. And then we might do like giveaways and fun things on that one main event one time each month. Trying to come up with cool, different ideas moving forward with our channel, right? This is just the beginning. It's a very young group compared to some others. But young doesn't mean we're not growing fast, right? We are growing fast compared to some other groups and some other channels. There we go. MSTR pushing up more. Bitcoin pushing up more. QQQ pushing up more. And that's okay. We learn to love it. We learn to love these pushes up and these big aggressive pull-ups. Push-ups, whatever you want to call it. It's early. The wind, man. The wind was fierce last night. It kept me up. And now it's not windy at all. It's like, okay, now it's time for you to wake up, so no more wind. There we go. We need 2 more. 2 more people watching this live stream to hit double digits, and that proves my point that that helps the case that we will do some giveaways, right? We want to do giveaways, so if you're watching on the Discord platform, hit that little YouTube button on the video so you can go to the YouTube platform so I can see that you are watching the video. You can also comment, say hey, real simple. You just do something like that and just say hey. If you want, introduce yourself. I know we have a lot of new members coming in. And if you're not comfortable with that either, then you can direct message me in the Discord, reach out to me, say hi, let me know kind of what your goals are with investing or with life, however deep you want to get. Keep it short and sweet, but I'd love to know some of your guys' goals. We have one person here who's saving up to get a charging station put into his house for his electric vehicle. So that's a cool goal, right? Short-term goal. I'd love to know, right? So you could always direct message me in the Discord, and I'd love to be a part of your success. Okay, QQQ kind of stair-stepping up. So it looks like it's selling off slightly right here. I am watching it on my secondary screen. You guys can't really see that, but I am. Have my chat room up over here. Or the live chat, I got that going on as well. Okay, Bitcoin getting to fade away slightly. Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing today? MSTZ. It's at a previous resistance level. Sometimes it can act as a support, right? Sometimes old resistance will act as new support. Sometimes, old supports will act as a resistance, depending on the direction that the company is and on which level it's on. Is it above it? It's going to act as a support. If it's below it, it'll act as a resistance. And we do have, we have 81 shares currently. Again, let MSTR push up as much as it wants. Let MSTZ sell off. I'd love to buy a little bit more here, but I think it can go a lot lower. Even around 1420-ish, where it tests this moving average, right? This red line really doesn't mean anything besides the fact that it touched these points a few times, right? That's really it. It doesn't have to be a support. And I'm actually going to leave it as a resistance line. And looking at the news is not looking so good for a lot of our economy, right? There's more fear. There's talk about war. Like this is not good. Let's see here. I'm curious to see. Hmm. And if you're having trouble commenting in our live chat, just remember you do have to be subscribed. But as a reminder, it is free to subscribe to the channel. So subscribe and you'll be able to communicate with us all. Hmm. It's also a way to get how many members are watching, but I don't see that on here. Hmm. I'll have to mess with that setting and feature more. All right. QQQ still holding. Bitcoin still holding slightly here. Gonna bring our alerts down a little bit tighter. See if we get that drop. MSTR already beginning to show signs of curling over. Again, this can go a little bit higher now that the EMA is crossing over the moving average. We'll see if the momentum continues. QQQ beginning to curl over as well. If you guys have any questions, comments, go ahead and ask them in the live stream. Can't believe we're already at 45 minutes. 45 minutes. And Bitcoin, here we go. Actively beginning to sell off. Nice sell off. Let's see if we can go a little bit more. And remember, just because it got up to this point doesn't mean it has to touch these yellow lines. Just makes more sense to short it when it is around those yellow trend lines. It's also getting rejected right off of this moving average. Went up to test moving average, couldn't break above it. Now it's selling off. So let's see, does it continue to sell off more? MSTZ pushing up. We do have 81 shares, nothing crazy. I want to buy more, but I also want to be patient. Just in case this rallies back up, testing 67,000. then I have, buying power to be able to buy more at the top, right? Yeah. Also considering um, holding some shares overnight into Friday, especially if we start seeing, more selling pressure. So Bitcoin getting rejected here. Ooh, MSTR also about to cross over. Bitcoin selling off slightly. See if it continues. QQQ kind of just hovering, right? I'd love to see this sell off a little bit more, but it's just hovering above the EMA and the moving average. So I am watching QQQ on my secondary screen. MSTR wanting to sell off doesn't mean it has to, but I feel more comfortable today holding this position. It's a smaller position, right? About $1,200, 81 shares. At one point we were down $40. No, we were down 50. So I did buy some down here on the dip, um, bringing my average price down as well. Now we're only down about $16 and looking for a nice recovery. Of course, not knowing that this was the peak, thinking this could go much higher like it did yesterday. It peaked really high at 132. We bought the dip and it sold off, right? Same with MSTZ. We were able to buy that dip. We were able to buy all in this area, and then this one little candle got me scared and I sold instead of holding for all of this profit. So again, leading by example, learning from my mistakes and what I could do better as a trader myself, right? Because that's what it's all about. It's all about learning, practicing, and then executing better and more every day. Learning more every day, practicing every day, executing buy entries and sell exits better every day. And again, if this begins to recover and begin to shoot up, MSTR begins to rally and push higher, then we could, again, short the peak. Why overstress yourself for a larger position? I did it yesterday, and what was the point, right? I wasn't able to buy the dip when it made sense. About a few shares, right? I had 10 left to buy, but imagine being able to buy with 100 shares. That would bring that average down, way more down. Here we go, almost to double digits. Make sure you smash that like button for me. If we can get double digits on these videos more times than not, right? We had 14 people watching yesterday. Then we can actually begin to do giveaways. And it would make sense to begin doing giveaways when we have double digits. And the more people, the better. Free gear, free merch, maybe some free gift cards. I got a whole business plan set up just for giveaways, but we got to start getting more viewers stepping in. Even if you have two devices, man, play this live stream on two devices, and then that'll help at least get us to those double digit levels until we can get more people actively tuning in. I know it's hard. It's hard to show up in the morning. It's early. 7:30 is early for the Midwest. 6:30 is early for anyone in California. I think Hawaii, it's 3:30 in the morning. Did you say beer? No, I didn't say beer. I said gear. But if you want a beer giveaway, I could always get you like a gift card for somewhere that sells beer. And then you could buy whatever kind of beer you want. Like I don't know if Walmart sells beer, but you could do like a Walmart gift card. I was thinking Amazon gift card would be cool. 'Cause then you could buy gear. Andrew said beer. Uh, you want some beer, man? You know, could always get some. I don't even drink for real. Well, good. Yeah, no point in drinking. You're just paying to you're just paying to poison yourself at this point if you drink beer. You don't want to poison yourself, man. Feel sick. There's no point. And you gotta pay for it? That's horrible. QQQ getting to sell off slightly. Still holding very good above 604.50 though. Bitcoin holding as well. Bitcoin has a long way to go. It can drop to 60. Doesn't have to, but it could. MSTZ back up to 15. So we are very, very small on a red position of 12, 10 bucks, 12 bucks. That's why it's all about keeping your position size small. I would have loved to buy more here, knowing that this was, in fact, the bottom. But it's still early. It's only been about an hour into the market open. We still got, 5, 6 more hours of the market being open. So really just kind of waiting and hoping. Oh, we got 8 people watching. Just need 2 more. 2 more people. And you know what's great about the 2 devices? If each of you had 2 devices watching this live stream, then that actually creates double the potential for you to win a prize. Because if there's only 5 people watching, but we have 10 that it looks like, then that's a better chance, right? You just cut your chances. You doubled your chances of winning. I know it might be cheating, but hey, that's not the worst thing you could be cheating on by having a second device playing this live stream. And smash that like button for me. We need to get at least 10 likes, at least 10 people watching, and then we're more prone to do some giveaways. What should be the first giveaway, guys? What are you guys thinking? I know what I want to give you, but I want to know what maybe you guys would like for a giveaway. Gift card, money, that's like the same thing. Gear, like learn to earn shirt or an investing shirt, a tee, a hoodie. You see me wearing a lot of different hoodies. Thank you. Wife brought me some coffee. What's this one say? Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Okay, it's a Christmas mug. I don't know if you guys have watched the last couple live streams. I know some of you tune in every day, but I got a blue hoodie, a black hoodie. I got a camouflage hoodie. We can do black hoodies. I think I even have a red hoodie. Trujillo W4R said, I try to wake up at 4 a.m. every morning. It's about discipline and becoming closer to my inner being. I do a lot of weird shit. I don't think that's weird at all, man. I don't think that's weird at all. That's really cool. Thanks for sharing that. I would love to get up earlier. Like 5 would be cool. 5:30, because then I could actually wake up before I do these live streams. Even 6 o'clock would be nice, but I do really bad lately of where I'm waking up at like 7 and then I'm getting on here with you guys at 7:30. So we could all take a little bit of advice from um, Ezekiel. S. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, let me know if that's correct. Um, and and learn from him as well. You know, don't have to get up at 4 a.m., but get up a little earlier, right? So you can breathe, you could think, you can clear your mind. You know, if you guys are religious, you could pray. You know, prayer is very good. I pray that I make money today, right? I pray that I have a good position and a good setup today. Even just waking up with gratitude, man. I know from days of past experience, just waking up with gratitude, being thankful that you are alive, being thankful you have another day is huge for your mental and your emotional well-being. It's a crazy thing, right? You wake up, you're like, oh man, I don't want to get out of bed. Oh man, I don't want to go to work. You know, that creates a lot of negative energy, and then you're going to have a bad day, I think. So it's really cool. Andrew, I wake up at 4:30 for work. I get to work at 5:15. You're at work at 5:15? As a mechanic, man? What do you do? The sun ain't even out yet. But I hear you. I used to have days like that too. I have to be at work at 6 a.m. and then I'd work all day till 11 p.m. I used to do doubles. I even have a short, I have a YouTube short showing I did 112 hours in like, I think it was like 4 days, like 3 or 4 days. It was a weekend. And I had to do multiple 16-hour shifts. And then before I quit, kind of the what is it they say, the straw on the camel's back. I don't know. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong on that, but uh, I actually I did 30 days straight of 16-hour days, and then sprinkled in those there were some 24-hour shifts because I was running a 24-hour restaurant. So there's some days where you know I lost my manager, my night manager, so I had to take over as a GM, and and as a GM you have you know I was a GM for many years. But when you lose a shift manager, you either have to find coverage or cover it yourself. So I was covering my shift in the morning, her shift at night, 30 days in a row. And then sometimes our graveyard cook would not even show up. So then I'd have to stay over graveyard and cook and be there the next day. So I know what it's all about, working hard, guys. I'm so happy I don't have to do that anymore. You know, you love it until you don't. And that's exactly what happened with me. I loved it until I just didn't love it anymore. All right, we are coming up on that 1 hour mark. It's close enough. It's like Ezekiel from the Bible, pronounced slightly different. Zeke is fine, brother. Cool. Cool. Thanks, brother. Yeah. Call Andrew Drew. I'm gonna call BWDTX. I'm gonna call him B Dub. I'm gonna have nicknames for all of our members that show up on a daily basis. I could promise you that. Maybe Andrew doesn't like Drew. Maybe he likes Andy. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Andrew says I like work. Cool, man. Especially as a mechanic, I bet you have some cool projects, right? All right, down 1%. This is all about learning from your mistakes, right? You guys watched my video from yesterday, the recap? And if not, go back and watch the live stream. But solid entries, slowly creeping in, buying our position 10 shares at a time. We built a nice big position of 170 shares. I even sold 20 shares at the peak. So we would have had over 200 shares, just slightly around 200 shares. And it was a beautiful setup. We were setting ourselves up to make 150, $200 on the day. And I dropped the ball a little bit, right? And I felt a little frustrated. I felt a little upset with myself, and you know, I still do. After trading all of these years, I still get stressed out. I still make mistakes. We're all human, but it's all about learning from our mistakes. Did I lose a lot of money? No. In the grand scheme of things, $52 wasn't bad because I made 30 the day before. So really only down 20, right? And if we would have traded on Monday, we probably would be break even. So, we're not down a lot this week. And we still got today and tomorrow to trade. So I'm excited. B Dub. B Dub laughed. He likes his nickname. All right, B Dub, BW BWD Texas. Yeah, see, I won't be able to say that every time. So B Dub. Um, LMAO. Everyone calls me Drew. Aw, and he doesn't look like he likes that. So I'm not gonna call you Drew, man. I'm gonna call you A. I'm gonna call you A. What up, A? Whatever you want me to call you guys, let me know. All right, so we didn't quite hit double digits. We got close. We got close, and that's all right. That's all right. We don't have to hit them every day. I'd like to. I'd like to hit those double digits every day. I know we can. There's a lot of people that don't even start tuning in till like, I remember we went live one time at like 9, and I had more people show up at the 9 o'clock live stream than at the 7:30 one. 7:30 is early. Sometimes the last thing people want to do is wake up and start thinking about money, right? But that's just kind of bred into us, right? That's kind of something that we naturally do now as day traders. We're waking up, we're checking our phone, we're looking and seeing where our positions are, if we have any open overnight. So, I love it. I love it. Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. No worries, Andrew. We'll call you Drew. Better than Andy, right? Andy's just way off. That's off the spectrum. Why are you calling me Andy, right? So, and guys, I'm telling you, if you're not using Webull, or if you're using another platform, at least sign up with Webull using the link. You will get free money. And then once you have free money, you can wait for it to settle your shares, right? Your fractional shares. You can own your fractional shares and keep them forever, or you could let them settle. It takes like 2 or 3 days to settle, and then you could sell those free shares and then withdraw them into your bank account. It's free money. There was someone who joined, they got over $300 just for signing up and depositing $1, guys. They got 75 fractional shares. So they got like $10 or $15 worth of Apple. They got a few dollars worth of Microsoft. They got some, few shares here of everything, right? I think he even got like up to 7 or 8 Apple shares. So he almost made a full 1 share of Apple by simply, you know, using the link and signing up with a brokerage account for Webull. You could, same thing with Robinhood. You guys remember Robinhood when you could get free shares? That was a real thing. And I made some decent money when that happened too. I told all my family and friends. I racked up, I think, $500 that first year, and then like another $300 the next year. I had like $800 of free money from just people signing up with my link. Now, I won't get as many shares as you do. I believe I only get one, but you will get 75 fractional shares when you sign up. And I was going to show you guys my rewards here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. Let's see here. So when I signed up with Webull my first time, I also got the 75 free shares. I got $60 of Apple. My very first one, I got $60 of Apple. I got $3 in Ford, $3 in Snapchat, $3 in Spotify, another $3 in Apple. So $3 seems to be kind of common. $3 in Spotify, $3 in Ford, $3 in Snap, $3 in Coca-Cola, $3 in Ford again, $3 in Google. I mean, it just keeps going, guys. I mean, the list just keeps going and going and going. And I believe I added it up one time. It's a significant amount. So you got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. That makes 30, 33, 36, 39, 41, 44, 47, 50, 53, 56, 59, 62, 65, 68, 71, 74, 77, 80, 86, plus 60. Holy moly. I didn't realize how much I made. I made like $140. 86 plus 60. $146 for signing up and putting in, I believe I put in like $10. I think it was like 10 bucks. But I think you only have to put in $1 and set up your bank account. So I got $146 in free shares, and I kept some of them. I kept quite a few of them for a while. I should have did a video on it when I did it, but that was so long ago now, guys. And then Robinhood, forget it. We could do a whole video on Robinhood rewards. One time I got Facebook $170 because someone used my link, and he got one share and I got one share, and it was $170 for Facebook. That's also when it was around $170. That's when it was called Facebook. Now it's called Meta, and it's up to $644. But yeah, that was way back here in the day, guys. That was back here in like 20. It was even before COVID. It was before that all hit. I've been trading for a while, guys. I think it was like 2018, maybe 2017. Yeah, 2017. I started my Robinhood journey around, I believe, August of 2017, which would put $171 a share right around November 17. Then it shot all the way up to 217. I sold it, and that's really what started my journey. I was like, wow, I can get free shares, wait for them to go up higher, sell them, and make free money on top of free money. Very cool. So I've been trading since 2017, guys. Literally 9 years. I've traded on Robinhood, TD Ameritrade, with their Think or Swim platform. That's why I like WEBULL so much. I used Acorns. I used, what was another one? Fidelity. I remember when you used to have to trade and actually have money for your commission. It used to be like $3.95 to place a trade, and then like $3.95 to sell the trade. Crazy. Crazy. And then it went to free. Robinhood offered free, no commission trading, and then everyone followed, and that changed everything, right? All right, QQQ. I'm liking what I see with QQQ. It's not really making any new highs on the day. It's kind of flatlining around 605.50, which is great, right? It's right below this moving average. We didn't even notice that until right after I went to the 5-minute and after I made this line, so that makes sense. Its resistance level is literally right below this 200 moving average. So it is still continuously getting rejected. I'd love to see some more selling pressure for our MSTZ position to play out. Let MSTR run up a little bit more. If Bitcoin wants to run up a little bit more, let it. But when it does begin to show signs of selling pressure, I want to do my part by being able to buy at all-time highs, which means MSTZ will be at all-time lows. So I'm looking to buy some more shares if it gets below like 14, 17, even all the way down to $13 again if that does happen. Right now, down about $30 of unrealized gains. Have about 81 shares, about $1,200 in market value, and I could still buy another 120 shares. So by keeping your position light enough where you're comfortable, it might be 10 shares, it might be 20 shares for you, it might even be 100 shares for you if you trade within the thousands of shares range. Whatever's comfortable for you. Another way you could put it is, say you're going to buy 100 shares for your maximum position. Maybe you only are in with 20 to 40 shares right now. Maybe 50 shares tops, right? And then when you get those opportunities to buy, you can buy at a lower price point, Or when you see this really beginning to push up the way it pushed up yesterday, then you'd be like, okay, it makes sense. I'm going to start adding some because now it's bullish. I'm going to add 10 here, maybe 10 here, maybe another 10 here, maybe another 10 here. And as it continues to push up, you're adding more to your position, right? I'm kind of doing the opposite today. I'm waiting for those pullbacks, right? We bought some at this pullback. We bought some at this pullback. If it pulls back a little bit more, I'd love to buy some more on those pullbacks for that hope that it will begin to rally, because usually it does. MSTR is, again, a reminder, a BS company. It doesn't sell anything, doesn't sell a product, doesn't sell a service. It just holds Bitcoin, and it continues to sell off because Michael Saylor continues to dilute his shareholders by borrowing money against his shareholders and then buying more Bitcoin at 0% interest, which only dilutes the investors. Imagine having 100,000 shares at $457. You know what? I'm going to dilute the shares. I'm going to borrow against it. So now instead of having 100,000 shares at 457, we have 200,000 shares at 350. You know what? I'm going to do it again. Now we have 500,000 shares at 280. Now we have 1,000,000 shares, but it's at 120. So, I mean, it's like a ticking time bomb. The lower and lower this goes, the harder it's going to be for Michael Saylor to dig himself out of the hole he's creating for himself. And the only way he can dig himself out is if Bitcoin actually goes up to what? $126,000 again. Is it possible? Yes. Is it going to happen anytime soon? I don't think so. So just a little food for thought. MSTR is known for selling off. It has been for years, and I will continue to short the heck out of it as long as MSTR does MSTR things, you know? All right, it looks like it's starting to push up a little bit more, which I like to see. QQQ, though, no progress on QQQ, right? Getting rejected again. So it's kind of in this horizontal pattern here where it's not going below this moving average, but it's not going above the resistance level of 605. We need to see something, a breakout above or a sell-off below to actually get the markets actually moving and doing something. Bitcoin rallied, now selling off again. Would it make sense to buy some down here? Yeah, I mean, I would like to, but I'm going to be more patient because I think MSTR, you know, whether it pushes up or not, let me showcase that to you real quick. And then in the live stream, our cost basis is right here, right? We're currently down about $15. Now, can't really say the most I'm willing to lose because I will just continue to buy the dip, right? So if it's down here at 4%, 5%, I'll buy some more. If it goes down even lower at 10%, I'll buy some more. Bringing this average price of 1504 down with my buys at a lower price. Now, what happens if it pushes up? Well, if it pushes up, then we also have potential, even just only with the 81 shares. This is what's so great. You don't have to go full position size. I could have 200 shares right now, like I did yesterday, and end up dropping the bag and stopping myself out before I even could make profit. But by doing this, I have 120 shares still available to where I can hop in. Oh, maybe I sold here because it hit my stop loss. Well, it's recovering. Now I can get back in with the 120 shares. Or just knowing, hey, I can buy the dip. I don't have to be as aggressive. And with that said, even only 81 shares, if this pushes up to 1560 where it was last week, that's $50 in profit. If it pushes up to 16, that's just shy of 100. And if it pushes back up to 17, we're talking like $170 on just 80 shares. We're not counting the fact that I can double this, right? Say we even had 100 and say I only put in 80 more shares at 160, it would double all these numbers. Now we're looking at $100 right here at 1565. Now we're looking at $180 at 1615. Now we're looking at $340 at 1715. So, again, you don't need a lot of money to make money. I guess it's relative to whatever you think. If you think $1,200 is a lot, it definitely is. I mean, I'm not saying it's not. But yesterday we had double that, right? We had closer to $2,800 in the market. And, could have been a very easy $170, $200 day by just being patient and by sticking to the plan, not trading your emotion. So, all right, any questions, comments, let me know. We've been live for about an hour and 14 minutes. I think that's where we're going to end the live stream. I've been talking for a little while. I'm not even drinking my coffee. It's probably cold. So let QQQ push up higher, and we will short the heck out of it when it does peak out finally. QQQ not really doing anything, right? Kind of flatline, so it's like watching paint dry, right? Or the monitors in the doctor's offices, right? The doot 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 doot. I think those are like the EKG machines, if I'm right. Correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, not really doing much here either. 8 people. I've been waiting, guys. 2 more people will hit double digits, and then I can mark this as a double-digit day. I'm thinking if we start getting, you know, even 3 out of 5 double-digit days, then I'll consider giveaways faster. And if we start hitting, 5 days a week, double-digit views, then we're gonna get those giveaways a lot sooner as well, guys. Come on, there's 10 of you. 10 of you. That means you have a 1 in 10 chance of winning a giveaway right now. You kind of consider yourself lucky, because if we had 100 people joining the live streams, you'd have a 1 in 100 chance. So the odds are ever in your favor. That was stupid. I don't know why I said that. What is that? Hunger Games? We got 9. We need 1 more. 1 more person, and I could feel comfortable in the live stream with the double-digit viewship. 1 more person, man. All right. Had a lot of fun with you guys today. Nonetheless, it is one of my favorite parts of the day. Showing up to the market, talking stock talk with you guys, locking in profits, making money, answering questions, and overall just hanging out with you guys during that first hour of the market open. So appreciate you guys' time. Remember, position size is everything. If you're not comfortable trading with 100 shares, reduce your position size. If you're not comfortable trading with thousands of dollars or even $500, reduce your position size. Learn how to control your emotions, and just know that, you won't be as emotional trading with less money until you can build up that confidence, until you can build up that kind of mental muscle inside your head, knowing it's okay. There are going to be red days, but as long as your red days are smaller than your green days, then you will be profitable. Know when to cut your losses. Don't bag hold. Know when to take profits. If you're at $98 in profit and you want $2 more to make 100, and then it starts going down, now you're only up 80, now you're only up 50, now you're only up 10, now you're at break even, wishing you just would have locked in the $98. Now you're negative. Now you're down $40 or $50, and you just wish you would go back up to break even. That is when you need to be more, create more skill, right? Develop more healthy habits of knowing when to lock in those profits, know when to cut your losses. And that comes with practice. Make sure you guys practice. Practice in a paper trading account. It's risk-free, and you have unlimited day trades, right? When you trade with cash, you only have so much buying power in the day. If you have a margin account, you only have 3 day trades in a 5-day period. But with paper trading, you can practice all day long. You could buy in and out of positions at fractions of a second. WEBULL lets you do it in real time. So now I could take 100 day trades, practicing, learning, figuring out what are good places to buy, what are good places to sell, practicing different strategies, and that is where you become successful. Taking 1 trade a day, it's going to take you forever to be more successful. Taking 100 trades a day, you're going to get there a lot quicker. So that helps. All right, we got to 9. Hey, we got to 9. I'll take 9. I bet you 1 more person, making 10. I believe we would have got it today, but Other than that, guys, I appreciate your time. We do have a position of 81 shares on MSTZ. I'll give you guys my alerts, whether I add more, when I'm going to add more, when I'm going to cut my losses, or when I'm going to take profits, all in the Discord. And if you have not joined the Discord yet, I highly recommend you join. It's 100% free, lifetime access. First link in the description. And if you join, and you are one of the first 1,000 members in the free Discord, you will also get access to the paid Discord and paid Learn to Earn Academy course. And you'll be able to watch our live streams moving forward, all for free, because you will be part of those original 1,000 members. So you guys consider yourself, privileged, lucky to be a part of this movement, to be a part of this team, to where you guys have now lifetime access to my free products, my paid products, and even when I update those products, create new courses, we might be Academy 2.0, 3.0 one day, you will never be charged because you are part of the 1,000, right? I'm gonna call you guys the 1%ers because I know we can grow this to 100,000 members easily. So appreciate you guys' time. Like always, remember, let's end the year on a green note, and you guys have a great day.